Mr. James, what happened to the light? You got to put some more light on you, brother.
I got this dark clothes on.
No. You didn't put on. Throw that super spotlight on you so people can see your handsome face and your dynamic features. We want everybody to know that we are the two best looking men in sports. Right here. Two best looking men that discuss sports in the podcast. Right here. You're looking at them. Eric K. James and Clay Morris. Yes, we're about 70 and 80 years old. And that really makes it really good because when you look as good as us and you're old, it's actually a good thing. Now, what is all that noise in the background?
Oh my gosh, my wife.
Yes, we are both married. So we are married men that still look good. Not as easy as everyone thinks. There's a lot of work that goes into being married, a lot of understanding, patience, understanding, and patience and understanding. We are the Amazing Great Sports Network here. I am Clay Morris. That is Eric K. James.
Welcome,
And
welcome, welcome.
we're here to talk about the NBA on Tuesday, the playoffs. What's going on in the playoffs, Mr. James? What's it look like?
Oh man, it's helter skelter now.
Helter skelter. Not for the teams that are winning. They're winning consistently. It is helter skelter for the teams that are losing. And that would
Oh
be
no.
the Boston Celtics and the LA Lakers. LA was swept last night. Swept. 4 games. Hasta la vista, baby. Tonight, the Celtics play the Heat in the 4th game, and they are down 3-0. So, more than likely, okay, I think it's going to be this. This is the last game of the season for the Celtics. And what do you think, Mr. James?
Woo! From the looks of it, I think it's gonna be the last game. However, I'd like to see them win at least one, just to clear the slate that they can play. They just got outbeat this year.
Well, we know they can play. They made it this far. We know they can play.
Well, I mean, you ain't gonna beat me 3 games without me really bruising you up.
Okay. Haven't played against Mr. James. I can tell you that is true. Especially after you win the first game. After the first game, then it starts getting progressively worse. I don't even know if you want to be there playing them in the 4th game. Usually you just call for a sub, let the sub take all the punishment, and then you come in and finish the job off when he's tired. When he's tired, it's a little bit easier. But if he's fresh, he's going to knock your teeth out. That being said, I don't think there's anybody on the Celtics that has that type of determination, that type of mindset that they're going to go in there and lay damage. If they were going to do it, they should have done it last game.
That's fact. I just don't want to see them go out. I don't want to see the lights go out and they didn't win one game.
Turn off the lights.
Yeah. Fat lady singing.
Yeah.
Get louder and louder.
Right now she's putting on makeup,
Yeah,
she's putting on makeup. She wants to look really good for her song tonight. That being said, let's just get on with it. I'm going to cover the Boston Celtics, and Mr. James will cover the Lakers and Nuggets debacle. So if we were to put it plainly, I'm going to cover the Celtics Heat debacle of the last game before the game tonight, and he's going to cover what happened to the Lakers that happened last night. The Nuggets put it to them once again, so we're going to get to that. Now, the Boston Celtics played on Sunday. Yes, they played Sunday in Miami. And they had a chance to knock the Heat in the teeth. I mean, and show them that they're here to play and that they're here to make a statement. And they're not going to leave. They're not going to give up. They're never going to surrender. And they surrendered quite easily. Miami Heat beat them 128-102, 128-102. They beat them by 26 points, but there were times they were up by 30 to 40, almost 40 points at a time. And the game was not even competitive after the second half. That being said, let's get to the particulars, which involve the Boston Celtics, and their starters. Jason Tatum played 33 minutes, and was 6 for 18, 14 points. Al Horford, 19 minutes, 3 for 6, 8 points. Marcus Smart, 30 minutes, 2 for 8 and 8 points. Derek White, 26 minutes, 3 for 9 and 9 points. And Jaylen Brown, 28 minutes, 6 for 17 for 12 points. Yes, they got some points off the bench. Grant Williams came out and gave him 12. Sam Hauser gave him 5. Luke Cornett came out and gave him 11. And Peyton Pritchard actually came in and gave him 12. But the main guy off the bench, one Malcolm Brogdon, came in and gave them 0 points in 18 minutes. And we'll discuss a little thing that I find a little entanglement that's going on with the Malcolm Brogdon, Marcus Smart situation if Marcus Smart is hurt or injured. Let's move on to the winners. One Miami Heat. Now, next week, probably starting later on in the week, there might be a Miami Heat jersey up here. And that's explained to you. I bet my dentist that the Celtics would sweep Miami Heat. Yes, I did. Before the series started. And he said, no, they're not. And so I said, well, I will bet you they're going to sweep. And he didn't want to take that bet. And he didn't want to take the bet that Miami would sweep. And we just took that. I would say that the Celtics would win. And then he would take Miami, and Miami would win. And the person who lost had to wear a Miami Heat jersey for a week. Well, as me and Mr. James talked about, the fat lady is warming up. For Miami, I can see the writing on the wall. He texted me earlier today and told me to get some popcorn ready to watch the game tonight. And I said, why should I get any popcorn? This would be like watching the same movie for the 4th time. I already know what's going to happen. That being said, if you see a Miami Heat jersey up here, now you know why. Let's get on to the winners. The Miami Heat. Kevin Love. Yeah, we have a graphic of Kevin Love somewhere. And yes, old Kevin Love played 5 minutes. But he scored 5 points in 5 minutes, was pretty darn good. Jimmy Butler played 31 minutes. 5 for 13, 16 points. He didn't blow out the gym, but he didn't need to. Bam Adebayo, 26 minutes, 4 for 5, 13 points. Gabriel Vincent. Now, Gabriel Vincent has not been let off the leash until last game. Like they do Caleb Martin, they made Gabe Vincent play vicious, tenacious defense if he wanted to get on the court, and he did. And then they said, okay, Gabe, you can shoot the ball. Gabriel Vincent is a very proficient shooter. He was 11 for 14, 6 for 9 from three-point line for 29 points. Matthew Strus, 25 minutes, 3 for 9 for 10 points. They got 22 points in 22 minutes from Duncan Robinson. Okay? I'm not even going to go there. Caleb Martin, in 36 minutes, was 7 for 11. He only missed 4 shots for 18 points. Caleb Martin led the whole team with a plus 34 in the plus-minus column. Caleb Martin, basically a castaway from the Charlotte Hornets. How did they do it? Eric Spoelstra and Pat Riley get the job done. They make these guys play defense before they ever let them take any shots. Kyle Lowry played his usual aggressive, tenacious defense. 28 minutes, 3 for 6 for 7 points. And that about sums it up. They're all stars. Look at the stars on this team. Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Kyle Lowry, Gabriel Vincent. Jimmy Butler's the hardest working guy out there, and the rest of the team follows him. Your best player is the hardest working. When that happens, like Michael Jordan, like Larry Bird, the rest of the team follows. They get in line. They know who the leader is.
Hey, we can turn it around a little bit. Butler is the possum facilitator in the beginning of the game. So he don't do much. He passed the ball. He moved the ball. He directs the ball. But going down into the second half is his time. That's just like Mike Jordan used to do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, facilitate the ball, and then come playoff time in the fourth quarter, who's getting the ball. Now, he doesn't have to shoot it, but he's getting the ball. And you better start covering the guy because now is his time. So that is great coaching. There he is, Mr. Jimmy Butler, and he has that look like you can't guard me. And apparently the Celtics know that look very well because they can't guard him when he wants to play. Heat number 22, Mr. Jimmy Butler, who was also on the Philadelphia 76ers, could have been Joel, Jimmy, Jalen, and Jason had Philadelphia had any ounce of sense in the front office. But they have none. Proven by which they fired Doc Rivers as if he could win with Tobias Harris and James Harden, which is impossible. Impossible. Nobody can win with Tobias Harris and James Harden. They were lucky to get to 7 games. Doc Rivers got them to 7 games. That's more than you could ever hope for. I just don't get it, but that's Philadelphia. They fired him. Said he didn't make adjustments. What adjustments can you make with James Harden and Tobias Harris? You're paying him $30 million a year. You're not going to let me sit them on the bench and play Shake Milton, who's a very good player, and a couple of other guys that should be out there. You're making me sit them down for these guys. But they fire Doc Rivers.
Doc didn't score enough points.
Yeah, he didn't play enough defense. He didn't get enough rebounds and pass off enough assists. He got a mediocre team to the second round of the playoffs. But apparently that's just not good enough in Philadelphia. Well, what we got for the Lakers? What you got, Mr. James?
We got Denver. Went on down. They're still down there in L.A. And they beat L.A. They swept L.A. They played L.A. nails to bones last night.
They stomped a mud hole in L.A. That's what they did. Wait a minute. The Miners mined L.A. like some gold, like a pot of gold. Look, I got a pot of gold.
Now, L.A. scored some points. They put some work in, but it just wasn't enough.
Look at me, pot of gold.
Let's take a look at the particulars. Anthony Davis gave him 40 minutes, 6 of 15 shooting for 21 points.
My man, Anthony Davis. He's really a good player.
Rui Hachimura, 42 minutes, 3 of 12 shooting for a big 10 points. LeBron James, 48 minutes, 15 of 25 for 40 points.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Derek Schroeder, 38 minutes.
Derek Schroeder. We're going to have to go. I'll show you a picture of D'Angelo Russell, who he replaced.
5 of 13 for 13. then you have Mr. Reeves.
There it is, Mr. Austin Reeves right there.
Austin Reeves, 41 minutes, 6 of 11 for a big 17 points. They got 10 points from the bench. D'Angelo Russell gave him 4 points.
There you go, D'Angelo. Get that 4 points, man.
Tristan Thompson gave him 4 points.
Oh, they pulled Tristan Thompson out of the mothball because the owner was just muscling everybody.
Lonnie Walker gave him 2 points.
Yeah, well, Lonnie, you need to be on another team. You're not going to get any play there.
Just wasn't enough. Wasn't enough
because
Denver. Let's see. For Denver, we had Mr. Gordon. Mr. Aaron Gordon gave him 41 minutes, 9 of 14 for 22 points.
Woo.
We have Mr. Michael Porter Jr., 41 minutes, 5 of 16 for 15 points.
There he is.
We have Mr. Nikola Jokic, 45 minutes, 11 of 24 for 30 minutes. Mr. Jamal Murray, 43 minutes, 10 of 18 for 25 points. And Mr. Kentavious Caldwell Pope.
That's my man.
39 minutes, 4 of 10 for 13 points. Then they had off the bench Jeff Green, gave him 10 minutes for 2 points.
Well, not that Jeff Green, the guy who used to be a Celtic back in 2000. Well, not 19, up to 2000 or something.
Yeah. And Bruce Brown, 20 minutes for a big 6 point. They got 8 points from the bench, but they didn't need. They beat them 113 to 111.
Woo, that was a close game.
Yeah, they played.
Yeah,
they played. They needed all hands on deck, and all hands put a little bit in. Everybody do a little bit. Nobody got to do a lot.
That's right. Everybody does a little bit. Nobody has to do a lot. But there's a lot to be done in L.A. Now, let's talk about L.A. since they are out of the series. I was talking to a friend of mine today. I think we discussed this. And he told me that in his dreams, of course, but in his wishes, probably his dreams, wishes, and what he would like to see happen is that Schroeder and Lonnie Walker are let go and Kyrie Irving is brought in to play with LeBron. And his reasoning is that LeBron and Kyrie are going to get together like the last tango, and it's going to be LeBron's last year, and they're going to win a championship. I don't see it that way, but what do you see if that was to happen?
Man, it depends on Kyrie's headspace. Depends on Kyrie's headspace.
Whoa.
So
you can't be serious.
Can Kyrie play? Absolutely, he can play. Will he play all season and keep his head in the game? Good, bad, and ugly? We don't know. We don't know. But just to bounce around from that many teams in such a short amount of time is already showing inconsistencies,
Well, yeah, his headspace isn't that great. But I question whether, even if you brought Kyrie there, okay, and here's the thing that people, to me, I don't have any sacred cows. I call it as I see it. What I see out there is what I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. I put it like that. So even if you brought Kyrie in, what are you going to bring Kyrie in for? Are you going to let Kyrie bring up the ball?
Well, that's the first question is what's LA's weakness? Anthony Davis does a good job.
Mm-hmm.
This new guy they got, what's his name? Reeves? Is it Reeves?
Yeah, Reeves, yeah.
He does a good job.
Right.
So you're talking about LeBron James, if he can, play both ends of the court and stay healthy, he'll do a good job. So where you going to plug him in at?
Right. Kyrie should be bringing the ball up. Is LeBron James going to get up off the ball and play down?
That's it.
That's the problem.
So
everyone wants to avoid that. Okay, the elephant in the room. I always want to go right to the elephant in the room. It's not if Kyrie could play. Yes, Kyrie can play. Is he going to be in the right headspace? He will be if you let him bring the ball up. If you push him off the way you had him doing in Cleveland, he's going to be pissed off.
Yeah.
Because he's a guard. He's supposed to bring the ball up. LeBron James plays out of position and sometimes still wins, but most times still loses. He gets right to the point. But when he plays against a cohesive team that works together and works their guards and their forwards and the center together, he gets beat. He has to have somebody bail him out, like Ray Allen had to bail him out, or Mario Chalmers, or Kyrie Irving, or Anthony Davis has to bail him out. Get your butt down there on the blocks and start making your presence felt. Okay, LeBron, if Kyrie brings that ball up and you got LeBron there on the box, okay, you're going to have a tough team. Get your mind into it. Is that what you want to do? Because that will be the only way that you're going to win. That's the only way you're going to win. And you should have won more championships than you won if you had did this. Magic Johnson, yeah, he played that guard position, but when they needed him to play forward, center, whatever, he played that too. He won the series for the Sixers playing center forward. You got to do what you got to do if you want to win. If you want to win and you say that you're that person, then you should be willing to do it. And you have never been willing to do it, LeBron James. Never. You always want the ball in your hands so you can get cheap stats. That's what's been holding your team back, and that's what's been holding you back. You have the ability. You have the mindset. You have the intellect. But are you willing to do it? Are you willing to sacrifice part of your game to win? That's my question, whether that could happen.
Yeah, well, again, if Kyrie takes that point guard position with Reeves and LeBron stay in that forward position, Davis do his thing at center.
Yep.
And Hachimura, or well, I guess he'll stay in there. They'll do fine.
They'll do fine. They'll pick, roll, set heavy picks, box out. Everyone would know what they're doing and be playing in the position that they need to play in order to be successful.
That's it. Bring Tristan Thompson in as bruiser. Woo. And that's the Rambo. Remember the Rambo?
Yeah. Come and get it done. That's all they got to do. But the problem is going to be the elephant in the room that I ain't afraid to throw out there. Well, is he going to be willing to do it? And that's been the question for the last 10 years with LeBron.
Yeah. Well, good on. They look good on paper.
They look good on paper. They look good on paper. If he can stay healthy, dude, because you told me that he was hurt last night.
Yeah,
last night he hurt himself.
Grabbing his leg, yeah.
Yeah, which is part of the problem of getting old.
Just don't work the way it used to, boy. After a while, you wake up with a different ache every morning, man. Jeez.
Snap, crackle, pop when you get out that bed in the morning.
When did my foot start hurting?
And snap, crackle, pop used to be Rice Krispies for breakfast. Now it's when I get out the bed.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So it's a different thing, and you have to take care of your body. I think he can do it. He's in relatively good shape, and also this. If he plays down on the block, he'll take less wear and tear on his legs and knees. He won't be guarding the young guys out in the front of the court anymore. he'd be guarding bigger guys. So I think he could actually last better if he had took that position. But he's been such a stat man and scared. Scared. Get over your fear, LeBron. Go ahead and play that forward position. Get over your fear and get it done. Okay? We're all scared. We're all scared of something new. That's it. But you're never going to know about failure. Well, actually, you do know about failure. We all know about failure. It's the failure to try. And nothing's worse than the failure to try. So you got to try first. And if you try, generally not a failure. That's all it is to it.
Nothing beats a failure but a try.
That's right. It's not a failure. If you go ahead and try playing that position, you'll have it down pat by the end of the season. As a matter of fact, you'll be killing people playing the forward position, LeBron. You'll be killing them.
Yeah.
Killing them. Okay? So look at it. I think you can do it, but I'm not going to shy away from calling you out for not doing it. Let's just put it that way. Now let's get on to the Celtics. And Joe Mazzulla pointed out, we don't have the graphic here, that the Celtics losing is his fault. Mr. James, how do you feel about that?
Part of it's his fault, not all of it.
No.
I know that he has skill, but his commodity of coaching is still brand new.
Yep.
And trying to understand that I love you is not what any player needs to hear during the playoffs. You can say that off season, man. They need to know that you're going to get in their butts from the time we hit it until the time we quit it. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
you gotta have some tough love going on out there, because them guys were looking for guidance and they couldn't find it. They couldn't find it. Right. And Al Horford was talking, but they still wasn't getting it. Smart was in and out. One moment he's complaining about fouls, the next moment he's trying to coach him, but that just wasn't getting it. We got to understand, we made it to the finals, but we haven't got past that. This year we couldn't even get to the finals so far. Unless you do some miraculous stuff and win a straight 3 games, which I don't see happening.
Wait a minute. Shades of the 2004 Red Sox.
There you go.
Coming back.
Don't let us
win one.
Don't let us win one.
If you let us win one, anything's possible, right?
Yeah.
The guy who said that, Miller?
Reggie Miller?
No, it was Kevin something on the Red Sox. You know, the idiots that call themselves, and he was one of them. But he said, "Don't let us win one." And then they won one. Then they said, "Don't let us win 2." Then they won 2. They said they better not let us win the 3rd one. And the Yankees let them win the 3rd one. Then all bets were off. It just went. They were back to believing. Everybody was off the Red Sox bandwagon. They were like, "Oh, here we go again with these guys. They're going to win one game, and then that'll be it. Just let them win one game, but we'll just say, all right, it's done." But Kevin Miller, I believe his name is Miller, said, "Oh yeah, you know, they got their foot on our necks. They got their foot on our necks. Yes, they do, but they better not let us win one."
Mm-hmm. Listen,
well, that could happen.
There's no pain that's better than growing pains.
Yeah.
You know, because if you were to avoid growing pains, you'd be a much worse person than you think you could be, because you gotta grow through some things. So Celtics as a team have to grow through encouraging each other and really pressing forward as a team, and everybody staying in that gap and press on together. And then even if your coach fell short, you know, you guys got to be, you guys are the one out there on the court, and you know what you're doing wrong, you know, so help him out a little bit and stay on top of your game doing what you're supposed to do. But you're young, so I've never seen a young person, you know, hit it right to the moon their first 1 or 2 years, because if they did, you wouldn't be able to fit through the door because your head would be so big.
That was Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson had a boatload. He had a great coach at the time too. So he inherited that. He came into a perfect situation,
right?
And he won in his very first year. And Bird wins in the second year.
Yeah.
But those are exceptional players. Those are all around. You want me to play guard? You want me to play forward? You want me to play center?
Whatever you want me to do.
Whatever you want me to do. Whatever you want me to do, coach. I'll go down on the block. I'll do X, Y, and Z. I'm your man. So they were exceptional players. But to get back to Joe Mazzulla, is it his fault? It's his fault. Yeah, it is his fault. But not for the reasons that most people think. he is a first-year player. I mean, a first-year coach. And he's coming in and trying to tell these guys that have been there on the team 4 or 5 years what to do and how to do it, and they're not listening to him. It's not his fault that they're not listening to him. He needs somebody who's an extension of him to be the liaison, the person who goes between the team and him. And he doesn't have that. I'm not sure they bought into his philosophy. You have this guy, Jason Tatum, right there. Jason Tatum needs to be the best player in the team. He needs to be buying into Joe Mazzulla's concept until they fired Joe Mazzulla. Since they haven't fired him, then he should have been in his office for the past month, sitting with him, going over film before they ever discuss anything with the team. Okay? But when he steps out there into the huddle for the team, and the team says, he goes, no, we're doing this. And this is how we're doing it. He's got to be that guy. So there's been a lack of closeness in between the team and the coach. Now it's very evident in the playoffs because there's no direction. They're looking to themselves for direction. They can't get it from themselves. They're looking to Joe. It's too late to look to Joe because the philosophy that he wanted was that offensive game, and they bought into it halfway to 3/4 of the way, but they didn't buy into it all the way. That's the philosophy that he was pushing. That's the philosophy they have to go for. And they can't question it. There's no looking backwards, forwards, sideways. You can only look forwards. I mean, there's no looking sideways or backwards. You can only look forward when you do it. Somebody has to be the liaison like Jimmy Butler is for Miami, or like Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic is for the Nuggets. They have to buy into the coach, and they have to bring it back to their teammates and say, this is what we're doing. Yeah, that's that Jimmy Butler look, and I want that look. I would like that look on the Celtics, but it's not happening. And even if you were here, they would find a way to mess it up because management does not hold their employees in high esteem. Like we said, the Ime Udoka thing could have been done in-house. Okay? You didn't have to put all these other situations and hysteria into it, all this other innuendo. You didn't have to do that. It had been handled in-house. Okay? Whatever you were going to do, it should have been done without bringing it out. Okay?
Well, even one step further, they have to do it based on the team. You're looking out for the
team. Yeah, okay? The team saw that.
If you're looking out for the team, you're going to find the best way to deal with every issue that may come your way.
Right.
And they that just wasn't. Team. That was right. I mean, it's just like they was out to ruin this guy, for this, versus, all right, you did something wrong. You violated. You're going to get suspended. Once you're suspended, we'll bring back and we'll see where we're at and we'll go forward. Right. He wasn't, he wasn't killing nobody. It was consensual.
It was consensual. I mean, so, that goes even further and deeper into it than I really want to go. Yeah. But the fact that you just could have, right, because it was consensual, okay, all you had to do was sit down and make it an in-house thing, okay, just between you and him. Don't leak anything to the press, to the public, not even anybody out there. No way. Nobody knows nothing, okay? Could have handled it in-house. That would have sent a message to the team that we're in this together. When you hung him out to dry the way you did in the press conference, his team was watching. His team was watching, saying, "Oh shoot, oh boy,
what are we gonna do now?"
And then you say you're gonna suspend him indefinitely. They're like, "Oh shoot!" They saw what you did to him, made him cry, right there in front of everybody. Okay, thousands, millions of people all over the world watching this over and over again in the news conference. They watched this. You made him. You broke their coach. Okay, and they're thinking, yeah. They'll do it to us too. They'll do it to us too. Okay? So you didn't want to give that look. You did not help your team with that look. And so this is on you, management, as well as on Mazzulla. He can only do so much, but it's on management as well and on the players. So everybody's at odds. I think more management and more coach than the players at this time. But should the players learn their lesson and start being in tune with Mazzulla instead of being on their own page as far as talent goes, it'll be something for them. I'd like to see that happen. And that's my take on Mazzulla saying it's his fault.
That's it. That wraps that up. So on tonight, we just pray and hope they will come together as a team.
When you see that Heat shirt up here next week,
Give the city one. Just give the city one. All right. Just give
I
them
agree
one.
with him. Give the city one.
Come
Just give them
together
one.
and give the city
Make you
one.
feel better about yourself too, if you can do it. But I'm not sure you can do it because Miami's a well-prepared team, and this is what Missoula is talking about. Is what he feels like he's responsible for. They're a well-prepared team. They know what the Celtics are going to do before the Celtics know what they're going to do. They are
Okay.
prepping every hour, every minute of their off time to go against Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Al Horford, Marcus Smart, Malcolm Brown. They know their tendencies. They probably know who your ninth grade teacher was.
Hey, how about they played the second quarter right before halftime? They started double teaming Butler. He started trying to pass the ball off and threw the ball away a couple of times. They went into halftime, came back, and you never saw that look again.
First year coach. It's the coach making the decision.
Or,
and it's a
or
problem
they
with
weren't
saying,
listening, or he wasn't listening, because a lot of times they just wasn't getting back. They
well,
weren't getting back.
we could say that, but if they were doing it in the first half and listening, then they would have done, I would think, in the second half. I don't think they would listen to him on one and not listen. No, the coach calls the plays, and you're
Well,
supposed to carry those out.
let me give you one more thing. So,
Okay.
because we're not using our bench, our same 5 starters that came out of the first half doing that they're sucking air.
Yeah.
So they go into the second half and trying to do them traps, full court traps. They're sucking air. So if you're
Can't
not
do
giving them no fresh bodies, to rotate and let them other boys sit on the sideline to see, this is what I need you guys to keep doing. This is what I need right here. You know what I'm saying? Let the young guys run for a little while. Full court press. Put the starters back in there. Full court press. You got to keep that rotation going. You got to keep them boys can't. Full court press is different than just playing 40 minutes.
Where's my thing here? Let me give you some applause for that, okay? Because that deserves an applause, obviously. Let me just, okay? That deserves an applause. You're right. You're right. If you want to play pressure defense, there's a lot of different ways to win a game, influence a game, and Missoula, it's his fault, as he says. I agree. There's a lot of different reasons why it's his fault. He has not come in that mindset of different strategies to use, and he hasn't employed all the strategies that he could possibly employ. So the Celtics are at a disadvantage with a first-year coach. He's driven. He needs under his belt. The lights are bright. He's in the Eastern Conference Finals, and here he is under the spotlight. And so
lights are going
it has
out.
not worked well. Meanwhile, from management, here's what we got. Okay, and they're sitting in the background pretending as if they don't see this is happening right in front of them, knowing that they have some culpability in the matter. So with that, what can we say? We covered about as much as we can cover about this. We can't play for them. We can't play any defense. Let's go, Jason. Leave it all out to the floor, man. Bite people, scratch them. Elbow somebody in the mouth. You go out there and hit Jimmy Butler right upside the head, but bam, turn around and show him you mean business today when you drive to the basket. Okay? I want to see Luke Cornett come out there and set some hard screens. Mike Muscala set a hard screen and then look for the darn ball. Play a different brand of basketball. Get out there, box out. Make hard cuts.
Get that sharpshooter out there, Hauser, man. Set some good picks and let him start firing some shots up there.
Right. He has to get into the flow in order to be able to shoot. You just can't pull him out there and expect him to start hitting things automatically. Get him into the flow a little bit, then give him the ball to shoot.
That's it.
Well, we'll see. But Mr. James.
One thing for Robert Williams before we go. Robert, stop bringing that ball below your waist. Keep that ball in the air, man. Keep that ball in the air. You'll get stripped a whole lot less.
Who do you think told him to look to strip Robert Williams at the waist? Erick Spoelstra.
Oh, yeah.
Watch the film on him.
Yeah, because he keeps bringing that ball to his waistline. Stop it, man.
Yeah, whenever he gets the ball and he brings it to his waistline, you guys should be after it. If I see him being able to get a shot off, you're hitting the bench. And, of course, that comes right from this guy.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the way he looks now. That's the old Pat Riley. Look at him now. Look at the Don.
That's the guy.
That's the guy. That's the guy. And you know what? The Heat play a lot like the old Celtics. Okay, they play a lot like the old, not the 80s Celtics, the 60s Celtics. The 60s Celtics, they used to kick the crap out of Pat Riley and the Lakers. So he knows this very well, up close and personal. He knows how to play this way. This is the old Celtics. Take your heart away.
That's it.
That's it, baby. Yeah, we have any old Bill Russell graphics? And I'm getting one in there, that's for sure, one of these days.
Nah.
Because, we should have one of old Bill, looking nice and gentle and magnificent. You get him out on the court, though. You got a whole other animal out there, all right?
Watch Bill Russell, Robert Williams. Go back and watch some of his clips.
Man, he ain't taking no prisoners. None. Not men, woman, or child is going to be a prisoner.
Well, we'll see tonight, fellas. We'll see tonight, young ladies. We'll see tonight, family.
Yes, we will. We'll see you tonight, and we'll go off with our theme song, which means you might have to grunt a little bit, but you better try.
Full court press, baby. Full court press.
Yeah, you got the guys
game. All game, because guess what?
All game long.
If you lose, you're on vacation anyway.
Yeah, they
can rest then.
Bring them out there. They got time. They got energy. They've been riding the bench all game.
Bring them young boys out there. Full court press the whole game.
Run up and down that court, baby. I want to see some action. Action.
Push. Full court.
Lights, camera, action. Let's get some
Time out. Give them another 2 new bodies. Yep. Push. Time out.
You got sitting on the scorer's table, waiting to come in when there's a foul given.
That's it.
You don't even need to waste a timeout.
Just roll it, man.
Rotating them in there like it's a hockey game.
That's it.
Keep rotating the bodies in there like a hockey game.
Keep going. It'd be good if you can go without even the coach sending you in there. Just when your time is to go, you go.
Yeah, just stand up.
You know what your number is.
Stand up. Go over to the scorer's table. Okay, coming from the 2 best-looking men as far as podcasts go in the United States, Mr.
Erick K. James
and Clay Morris, we will bid you adieu. You guys have a good day, a good night, and enjoy yourself.
All right, take care.